exactly from a couple's point of view. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to go to a very quick commercial break. Right after this commercial break, we're going to get them on the line. So definitely stay tuned. You know what time it is. It's me, your girl, p.o.c. Make sure you guys subscribe to the newsletter. Also, the timeline at revive_p.o.c on both Twitter and Facebook. Do not forget to follow us on both Twitter and Facebook. And I'm also going live with Comments with Consciousness. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it all out real fast. Comments with Consciousness at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. I think we got them back on the line. I don't even think we need that commercial break. Yo, how you guys doing out there, Black Love Matter?
What up, though?
What up, though? There we go. There we go. I'm excited. I'm like, yo, I need this conversation, man. I want to know what's up with you guys. So we did go ahead and read off your bio, but I would love for you guys to introduce yourself to the listening audience as well in your own words.
Beautiful, thank you. I know I was over here cussing them out. I said, I can hear them, why can't they hear us? We got to show out. It done broke the black love. That's what. So Ike Turner over here. Taking the table, but you go first, Niram.
Well, I'm Niram, and we are Black Love Matters. We host a podcast that we publish 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, covering all types of topics, love, sex, money, and other matters in black love. For us, Black Love Matters is serves as a therapy session for us to figure out, how to deal with 30s and loving each other and continue on this ever evolving journey of black love.
Yes. And this is Nyambi, and I always like to say I'm Niram's better half, and he's always the creative one. So when we first started this podcast, I was like, hell to the no. I'm raised by the old, so you keep business in the house. So I was like, we really want to go out there and put all of us out there, good, bad, and ugly. But like Niram said, it truly has served as a therapy session and served as a space for us to be authentically us. So I heard y'all when y'all were talking the same, when y'all, like, who y'all thought were, like, the black role models when it came to black love, and how Barack and Michelle, like, everybody got them, but, like, they over the mantle next to Jesus and JFK. But how do you have those real conversations? You be like, how do we get there?
Exactly.
And then when you're not there, knowing that that's okay, too, because there's something beautiful about that. But other than that, I'm a Leo. I love community, brown people, education, loving hip-hop, and Ralph Angel. That's it.
What's up with that loving hip-hop? You got to explain that to me, because the guest I had on before kind of said that that's the reason why, the side chick thing actually lives. It's alive now because of shows like Loving Hip-Hop and Basketball Wives and things like that.
So people got to understand, like, the difference between, like, what's on TV and, like, what's real life. And I think a lot of things millennials are struggling with is understanding, like, whatever you see on TV, you can't go do that in real life.
Yeah.
So I think that's more or less the issue right there, is that people ain't teaching these kids that you can't do everything you see on TV, because everything you see on TV is fantasy.
And I think also with the social media age and television, it just made it more accessible. Hoeing ain't new. So hoeing's been around since the beginning of time. So being a hoe, being a side chick, none of this is new stuff. None of this is new professions. Ask your grandma, ask your mammy. All these things have been around. I think now what has been, like kind of what you were saying there, is at the forefront now, just because the kids have so much access to it, and that's how they process through it. So I think when we were younger, if this something like this, it really wasn't on, but if it happened, you had someone to kind of process this with. So you having real conversations with people. But now I think the children are so stuck on the Twitter, the Instagram, like that's how they process it. And this is, this is giving them this validation and affirmation, because it is a glorification of side chick culture.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy on how, it's
really
become it's like a sorority now.
Exactly.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yes, like they're making a whole show out of it called Side Chicks of Charlotte. I'm just confused. Like, people are getting paid to put people on blast that, like, they're cheating on their spouses. Like, why would you even do that? Why would you put yourself or that other person that you're creeping with, even in that situation or in that that environment? I think that's truly crazy. And I thought, in my opinion, I really honestly thought side chicks were supposed to be quiet or on the down low, but now they speak up too much, so it makes it really hard for men or women to even cheat. What you think?
My personal opinion is it's 2017. We are all millennials. We taking over the world. Why not stand up in your mess? And if you want somebody to have sex with other than the partner that you are together with, why don't you be straight up and be like, baby, I love you. I want you to be day one. We're going to ride this out forever, but I like to have sex with other people. Are you down with that?
Yeah. Because it's somebody who's going to be down for it, but you have to have the courage and the balls to go to somebody and actually say that, because I do believe somebody from everyone, and believe it or not, it's more chicks than not who would be down, and men who are down for it. But I think it's when this shady undercover stuff, that's when it begins to hit the fan and feelings get hurt.
Definitely. So that leads into my next question, you guys. So what do you think we're lacking? Do you think we're lacking the trust aspect, or do you think we're lacking the communication aspect?
That's a good one.
I would say communication. With the advent of social media, people are more comfortable to, text somebody, DM somebody, but it's really hard for individuals to have like these straight up face-to-face conversations. Mm-hmm. And I think they're afraid of being rejected, or not necessarily knowing how to stand up in their own mess and say what they want to say and be impeccable with their words.
I think it's communication, but I don't even think with the other person there. I think it's self-communication and being real with yourself. I think in one of our first episodes, we have a friend who keeps saying, I keep getting these crazy girls and these girls who are ticky, boom, boom. And I eventually had to ask him, well, do you like damn bombs? Because you keep attracting these type of girls. So I also think it's a fair conversation on what's going on internally with you. Because he kept coming to me, every girl, oh, Nyambi, she crazy, she do this. Oh, Nyambi, she this. I said, but the reoccurring factor here is you.
Definitely.
So do you ask yourself, do you like bombs?
Right. And if you do, you got to do the work, beloved.
Yeah, you do.
That is so true.
I love it.
You got to do the work.
I love that point that you made up, because sometimes you really just got to check yourself. If you keep attracting the same person that's driving you insane, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So you're driving yourself insane, honestly. So I love that point that you brought up. It's definitely on you as a person, definitely. But we do have a caller on the line, so I want to get to this caller. Maybe they have a question for you guys as well. Hey, caller, you're live on Revive. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing? My name is E from Chicago City.
I'm sorry, you kind of breaking up. Can you go to another location or something? Your service is kind of breaking up a little bit.
Hello?
I can hear you now.
Better?
That's better. What you say?
How you doing? My name is E from Chicago City.
Awesome. What's up, E-Dog? Thank you for always supporting the Revive platform. How are you doing today? You got a question for me or the guest today?
Yeah, I actually have a question for all of you. So, when you guys were talking about the communication, as far as the guests, when they were talking about the communication, I think there's other points that need to go into it to make it, to really cover the whole thing, like as well as communication, determination, and keeping your word. I think like people don't want to keep their word; they want to sell people dreams in this day and age. They want to sell people dreams, and they don't want to, keep their word, do what they say they're going to do, be about what they say they were going to be about. When the game changed, they don't want to communicate. That's where it come in, But it mostly comes down to being thorough, sticking to your guns, and remaining who you are. Because when you initially show somebody who you are, that's why people have trust issues. Because they're like, oh, they could be showing me a whole nother different person than they are. People don't want to be themselves. That's what I think our biggest trouble is. So I wanted to know what you thought about my disposition on that.
Black Love Matter, you got anything for that?
Brother, you definitely make some good points. One of the things you also got to realize is that when you meet somebody, it's just an example of like snapshots in movies. Like when you meet somebody, that's a snapshot. But you got to realize, like in this relationship, it's not always going to be that type of thing all the way through. It's going to be a movie, and things going to evolve and things of that sort. Yeah, you got to be impeccable with your word. Yes, you got to definitely mean what you say and say what you mean, but you also got to know yourself. And I think in this day and age, a lot of individuals don't know what they know themselves or know what they really want to go around with it. You have anything else, Naim?
No, that's a good point. No, I was just, I'm a processor, so I was just processing it. And when I was hearing you talking, I actually have a girlfriend that's kind of going through this now. And we have these conversations all the time about, do you fall in love with someone's potential or do you fall in love with their reality? And I think that's a hard road to travel. It's very it's a tightrope, because the goal is you hope that they continuously grow and evolve and become better and you become equally yoked. But at the same time, when you're meeting someone, near them the kind of counter what you say, this is who they said they were. And when you signed up or you said I do, this is what they say they were too. So I think that's why it goes back to that ongoing communication. So I think it's always based in that communication, to be able to be honest with the person with where you're at, at that point. So if it ever do change, you have to be upfront and say, this is the direction I'm going in. You with it or you're not. But no, I think it's a great point that you're making, bro. And Niram, what you were saying about the ideas of thinking about a relationship as a movie and not just a snapshot, and knowing that it's going to be continuously moving and evolving and changing. But the goal is that you're changing together, right, and you're growing together. Now, when you start going on divergent paths, that's when, you know, you run into, I think, the trouble and the setbacks, and having also the courage to know when you're done. Exactly. Everybody's not meant to be with you forever.
Exactly. I was just going to
pick reasons, seasons, purposes. So, you know, great question, but I'll yield to y'all. Go ahead.
No, I actually was going to pick back up what you were saying as well. I was saying that's when your judgment kicks in. You got to make judgment calls for yourself. Like how you said that you're not supposed to be with everyone forever. You know, every relationship is not going to last into the end of time. Definitely. We can all play that song on the violin every time we get in a relationship. Definitely. So I think that's when the judgment call comes in. I think that's when your consciousness has to kick in. Your subconscious has to kick in and just simply say, yo, am I still here? Is my mind still here? Is my heart still here? And I also feel like in a relationship, both have to be there. Both have to align. Your mind and your heart have to align. And then once one exits, you have to exit, honestly. So to just answer your question, I think it's a judgment call on that one. Once people start to slip and your expectations start to, decrease and things like that, that's when, you got to make a judgment call for yourself and say, yo, it's time for me to get up out of here. If my mind not here and my heart here, I got to go. So that's what I would say to answer your question. Thank you for calling in and posing that question to us as well. But that leads to my next...
No problem.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say, E?
I said no problem. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. Continue to support the Revive platform. But to get back to you guys, Black Lives Matter, I have a question. Do you think that it's a detrimental thing when you and your significant other follow each other on these social networks such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, things like that? Do you think that, you should follow your spouse on social network, or do you think you should not? That should be the time when they have, some kind of privacy or whatever. Do you think that is a good thing to do in a relationship?
Hell to the no. Look, Mira might have a more dignified answer than me, but me. No, hell yeah, we got to follow each other on social media. I think that should be a norm. Now, if you want to what I think is okay to keep private, a lot of folks maybe not post pictures of their significant other or explicitly say who they're with or that type of thing. That's fine. But the fact of following another person, I think that's an aspect of your life too now, the aspect of your identity. And by you not sharing that with your partner, you're withholding an aspect of you. And I think then you have to ask your question, what am I doing on here that I wouldn't want my partner, spouse to see? But that's just Nyambi. I say, hell, we following on all platforms. Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all of Black Planet, all of them.
Not Black Planet, though. You're going to bring it all the way back. Definitely. What do you say?
I didn't forget my Black Planet password. But I definitely agree. If you're definitely trying to be in this a long run. So, for example, me and Naomi been together for 12 years. So, she has access to all of this. It doesn't mean that she's, going through it and looking through it when I'm asleep. But, I'm at the point now in our relationship, I ain't got nothing to hide. We've been living together for so long. I've been with her for so long. I don't want anybody else to know anything more than she knows. So,
that's true.
Yeah. She can follow me, she can have access to it. And especially, you want your partner to have access to it. Like, what if you pass? Like, what if you, literally die? And, nobody has access to your social media to let the world know that you gone. Miami got all that stuff.
That's true. That's trust. That's when that trust definitely kicks in. But to wrap up today's interview and to give you guys my last question, the name of your podcast is Black Love Matters, right? Why does Black Love matter to you guys individually? I want both of you guys to answer this question. Why does Black Love matter?
I personally think for me, Black Love matters because with everything going on, like we were talking about love and hip hop, social media, there's not enough positive images of Black love. And it was our reason, and we didn't see it, when we were doing the search for podcasting and things of that sort. So we took it upon ourselves to do that and to spotlight Black love. Put our relationship out there, as well as feature other Black relationships out there to let everybody know that Black love still exists. And it's also, I want to say it's one of the greatest forms of civil war we got. Like picking your partner, picking a Black partner, you nobody can really understand what you're going through as a black man or a black woman other than somebody else who's black.
Yeah, I ditto to all the things you